What's going on, Dodgers Nation? D-Mac here. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. Clayton Kershaw re-signs with the Dodgers. We have all the details. We're going to dive into that in just a second, but quick reminder, for all latest Dodgers news and rumors for the MLB free agent frenzy, be sure to subscribe to the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and if you really want to support the channel, smash that like button. And as always, I want your takes down below in the comment section. Today's Dodgers Nation question of the day. Give me your one-word reaction to Clayton Kershaw re-signing with the Dodgers, and what do you think are fair expectations for him? Do you think he is going to be a solid number 3 starter? Do you think he is going to be injured? I want your expectations for Clayton Kershaw, and do you think that he was a must re-sign when you factor in his legacy and how he's an iconic Dodger? And also, do you think this is his last year with LA? Let me know down below, and for all the latest Dodgers news, head over to DodgersNation.com. So fire up that signing siren. We've got some big breaking news to get into. Clayton Kershaw is re-signing with the Dodgers.
I'm not fucking leaving. The show goes on.
Ken Rosenthal was the first to report it. He tweeted out, free agent left-hander Clayton Kershaw is in agreement with the Dodgers on a 1-year deal pending a physical, sources tell The Athletic. And then shortly after that, John Heyman tweeted out, Kershaw gets $17 million plus incentives on Dodgers deal. So we've got lots to get into, but first, let's talk about the length of the contract. We're talking about a 1-year deal for a pitcher that spent his entire 14-year career with the Dodgers, and it's one of the most decorated careers of any pitcher in the history of the game. He is a walking first ballot Hall of Famer. He's a 5-time ERA champion, a 3-time Cy Young Award winner, a 1-time MVP. He was the pitcher of the generation in the 2010s, finished with 59.3 F4. That was the most in baseball. So there's nothing that this man hasn't accomplished on the mound, but you don't sign a player for what he's accomplished in the past. You sign him for what you think he can do for you in the present and in the future. And at this stage of his career, the big concern with Clayton Kershaw is the injuries. Some people saying his arm is fried. Some people talk about all the mileage and the velocity dip. And while he has suffered that, he's evolved as a pitcher. This is a guy that knows how to pitch. He's not a guy that just goes out there and tries to gas guys. He is a true pitcher out there. He has one of the best sliders in all of Major League Baseball. He's throwing it more than his fastball. And when he has the feel for that slider, he can still be a solid number 3 pitcher with some nights where you're looking at vintage Kershaw. We saw a great start from him last year against the Cubs. I mean, he still has it in the tank as long as he can stay healthy. And before he went down with that injury, he was one of the best pitchers in all of Major League Baseball. So he goes down with that injury, and they end up placing him on the IL after that start on the road against the Nationals. He was posting really nice numbers. He had a 3.39 ERA, a .98 WHIP, an opponent's batting average of .213, a 30.1 K percentage, a 4.5 walk percentage. That is an elite number. He's also tied for 5th in F4 among qualified pitchers. So he could still get it done. There's no question about it. When he was healthy, he was still a top 20 to 25 pitcher in all of Major League Baseball. It's just a matter of keeping Kershaw healthy. So that really is the big thing, because we saw he missed significant time, then he came back, had some okay starts, had some rough starts, some shorter starts, and then in the third to the last game of the season, he leaves the game against the Brewers after throwing just 42 pitches. We all feared that, hey, he might need TJ, he might need surgery, the way he left the mound, the way he was holding that ball. It just had a really bad feeling to it, but he avoided that surgery, underwent that PRP treatment, got the PRP shots, so right now it's just a matter of how he responds to it. Because I'm telling you, if he can get healthy, he can still be an effective pitcher for the Dodgers. And then also, you look at that contract, a $17 million per year contract for a guy that's used to making north of $30 million a season. Remember, this is the pitcher who was the first $200 million pitcher in league history when the Dodgers inked him to that 7-year, $215 million contract back in 2014. He also signed that 3-year, $98 million extension in 2018. He's a guy, when you factor in endorsements, he's made well over $300 million. And then don't forget, he's got that Raising Cane's money. Kershaw worked worked at Raising Cane's this offseason, and that had to have been really tough for him to, one, not only tell the Texas Rangers that he was going back to the Dodgers, but also tell Raising Cane's that he had to quit and go to the Dodgers. So look, that's a great story. A Raising Cane's employee signs a big league contract to pitch for the Dodgers. I mean, come on, Disney, get to work. You got a movie right there. No, but seriously, when it comes to Kershaw, it's not about the money. He's a guy that really lives relatively modest considering how much money he's made over the course of his career. And then also, you know, you're going to have the incentives in there, the escalators, if he hits certain benchmarks. So I wouldn't be too worried about that. I just think this is a very team-friendly contract, but also if you're Clayton Kershaw, you're not tied down for longer than next season. You can just take it year to year. You have nothing to prove to anyone at this point. And now as far as where does Kershaw fit in this Dodgers rotation, well, like I said, if he has the feel for his slider, if he's healthy, he can still be a solid number 3 starter on a World Series contending team. But I do think it's tough to expect him to make 30-plus starts and then have him start in the postseason. I do think the Dodgers are going to have to add some depth to the starting rotation. To me, I think they need another frontline starter. We'll see what happens with Trevor Bauer. You saw the news about him going back on administrative leave while the league decides what they're going to do to him as far as the suspension goes. And then you see they sign Andrew Heaney. We'll see what happens with Tony Gonsolin. But at the top of that rotation, you're going to have Walker Buehler and Julio Urias. But as it stands right now, you're going to have Buehler, Urias. You're going to have Clayton Kershaw, Tony Gonsolin, Andrew Heaney. We'll see what happens with Trevor Bauer. Dustin May will probably make his return around sometime in late July or August, and you can't expect him to assume a starter's role when he returns. So I do think the Dodgers still need to add some starting pitching to fortify this rotation, but it's just great to have Clayton Kershaw back. I didn't want to have to go through seeing him in a Texas Rangers uniform or have to hear that he retired. He is going to be back in Dodger blue, and yes, this isn't Goat Shaw anymore. It's not prime 2014 Clayton Kershaw at this stage of his career. Last season, that 3.55 ERA, that was the worst since his rookie season in 2008, but that doesn't mean he can't be effective and that he can't assume a role in this Dodgers rotation. And if you remember when the season ended, another reason why I was confident that Clayton Kershaw would come back is because he's 27 strikeouts shy of being the Dodgers all-time strikeout leader. Right now, Don Sutton, he holds that record at 2,696. Clayton Kershaw sitting at 2,670. You know he wants to retire as the Dodgers all-time strikeout leader, and then hopefully he can make a push towards 3,000. That's going to take him probably a few seasons, but it's definitely possible if he can stay healthy. But I'm very excited to have Clayton Kershaw back. Like I said, I think this is a great day for the Dodgers. You want to keep your legends in your team's uniforms, and look, there is going to be a Clayton Kershaw statue one day. There is going to be a big retirement ceremony because he's really put this franchise on his back for the last 14 seasons. He's been such a big part of this organization, and we just couldn't live to see him in another team's uniform. But let me know down below in the comment section. Give me your one-word reaction to Clayton Kershaw re-signing with the Dodgers, and do you think that this is his last year in LA? Let me know down below. And also, what are your expectations for Kershaw? Do you expect him to be a solid number 3 starter? I want all your thoughts and reactions on the Dodgers re-signing Clayton Kershaw down below in the comment section. My name is D-Mac. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. For all latest Dodgers news and rumors, all free agency frenzy long, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and if you want to see us post even more Dodgers content, smash that like button. Really helps out the channel. And as always, think blue, bleed blue, and welcome back, Tony Crenshaw.